want to talk a little bit about why toxic relationships are so addictive.
Oh,
because clearly they are.
They are.
We know better than anybody.
Yes. The biggest thing that I know is that we become addicted to them because of intermittent reinforcement.
Yes.
So basically the cycle is that there's a like the narcissistic abuse cycle kind of, it's also that intermittent reinforcement. So it's like there's, you know, like a love bombing period or just like a chill period that's like good and, you know, whatever.
Hot and cold.
Yeah, tension will rise, an incident will happen, and then there'll be like a reconciliation period. Or for people like the narcissistic abuse cycle, it's like love bombing, like devaluing, and then like discard or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah.
To me, intermittent reinforcement is inconsistency.
Yeah.
And it is so addictive for that reason.
Yeah, because you never know when the reward is coming. And so you're like, give me more. It's like fucking gambling.
It fucks with your reward system.
It's gambling.
Which is your like dopamine cycle.
Yeah.
It fucks with that reward system. So it's always intense affection, then withdrawal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And your brain will be trained to start chasing the good parts.
Yeah.
It's a lot of distress than relief.
Yeah.
So something that I've heard from a lot of people that are, you know, currently in toxic relationship cycles is that it's not even that there's like super high highs and super low lows. It's just that it's okay.
Yeah.
And then really, really low.
Yes, that is exactly what it
But
was
it's enough.
Yeah, it's enough. Well, yeah, because like you become a fucking fiend. You're fiending for it the next hit.
Yes.
Like it's literally like a fucking addiction.
It is 100% an addiction. Yeah. And it literally becomes a hit like a drug.
It does, because your nervous system, there's no greater drug than your attachment system. There's no greater drug. There's no greater drug than something that feels like love.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, literally in the brain, it's like when the lows are low, when someone's making you feel bad, making you feel like garbage, and that can look very different depending on the person.
Yeah.
But that increases cortisol levels, which is anxiety, distress.
Yeah.
And then once things are good, things are fine, things are settled, however that looks, it's all of the dopamine and oxytocin.
Yes.
So literally that is the same exact thing that happens with drugs.
Yes.
Or alcohol or anything, any type of vice.
Yes.
In IFS, we call them firefighters, but it's neither here nor there. But it is what you need for your brain. So it literally becomes a need the way that drugs become a need.
Yeah.
And I've always said this about drugs, that drugs are just a way to regulate an already dysregulated nervous system.
Yeah.
Toxic relationships are kind of the same.
They are 1,000% the same.
And then they do the opposite, the same way that drugs do the opposite.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So I feel like it's just that addiction feeling. Like it's just compulsive. It's very much like it's familiar, it's comfortable, it's known, it's like the up and the down, it's what I grew up with, it's what I know, it's that, you know, that kind of idea, that kind of thought feeling. That seems to be the primary like kicker.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's that reward system too.
1,000%.
When you have something and then don't have it anymore, you'll just do anything to win that back.
Yeah. It's gambling. It's literally like it is. Fuckboys are a casino. Fuckboys are a casino.
They are a casino.
Yes.
And you are not bonded to the person. You're addicted to the cycle.
Yes. And the problem is like, 'cause you could replace them with any fucking toxic ass motherfucker and you would still be like, absolutely. Let's go.
You could replace them with any person. You could also replace them with anything. Like you just said, gambling. You could replace them with drugs, alcohol, food. Yeah. Anything that you can get addicted to, you can just as easily get addicted to people.
Yeah.
And I think that we don't recognize that as much as we should.
No, we don't. We really, really don't.
I do think that a lot of times people feel so connected to somebody that's toxic. And again, we were talking about like somebody like matches your flavor of toxicity. Like I've definitely had somebody that matched my avoidance, and I was like, oh, he's even more avoidant. Wow, you know?
Yeah.
And so I totally understand that. I know that anytime you are in a toxic relationship or an abusive relationship, mainly, you are trauma bonded.
Oh, 1,000%.
And people, I don't think, understand what trauma bonding means. It doesn't mean that you were bonded over trauma. It doesn't mean that you both, you know, had a vulnerable moment and talked about both of your traumas and you were like, oh, we have so much in common and we're so close. It's not that. Mm-hmm. Trauma bonding is pretty similar to like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
It is just somebody being toxic, maybe abusing you, and you are addicted to it. That is what a trauma bond is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, 1,000%.
I was in a really, really bad abusive relationship, and the last time that I was in that was 17, 18.
Yeah.
At that point, it went on for a very, very long time, but I was like, I will never, ever, ever do that again.
Yeah.
And I feel like my window of tolerance got extremely, extremely small.
Yeah.
For something like that, and my standards got very high.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't mean that I didn't have toxic relationships or toxicity. Again, I was very avoidant. Mm-hmm. I would either be the toxic person or I would find somebody just as avoidant as me, which is what I ended up doing before Jake. But I do think that was my rock bottom, and I was very young for that to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it was so brutal and so rough.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it did happen.
You're glad that it happened.
That young, because I do feel like the worst is over for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I definitely feel like the worst is over for me too. And I feel like I learned it a little bit later in life, but it still feels just as valuable, you know?
100%. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When you learn it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I feel like the choice to realize that freedom is a gift, and it's a gift that you have to choose.
Yes.
Is one of the most important things you can do in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And consciousness is a medium through which you can choose that freedom, right? Like having free will, agency, you know, choice, whatever you want to call it. But deciding that you are the master of your own destiny and that you can keep yourself from being in a shitty situation by, one, figuring out a way to leave a shitty situation that you're in, and then two, not doing that to yourself again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Which is fucking hard to do.
Oh my God, it's like the hardest thing you're ever gonna fucking do, but it's still worth the effort every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.